right, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the GSL Super Tournament, and this is, in fact, quite the Super Tournament. It has been super so far. I am excited to be here. I am Moltrap. With me is Wolf, and we are happy to be casting here for you today, casting some fantastic games
and
so
it's
far.
only halfway over, Moltrap.
Yeah.
We've got FruitDealer versus AcE coming up, and Game 1 is going to be on Belshire Beach, which has drawn some epic games.
Yeah, it's been pretty good stuff so far. Now, I actually didn't hear because I put my headphones on, and before they turn our mics on, I couldn't hear you. What were you saying about you had some idea of which map was going to be pivotal?
We've got Belshire Beach up first, and we've got Zelnaga Caverns, and I think that FruitDealer is going to struggle on Belshire Beach. Based on his play style, based on this kind of his funky sort of style, he doesn't really play the late game that well, and his late game, I think, me personally, can be kind of rocky. So I feel like if he loses Belshire Beach, Zelnaga Caverns is going to be the map. Because I think he won't win the first game. I think he's going to struggle. Unless he's really aggressive and tries to end the game early, I think he's going to struggle. That's how I feel about this set.
Okay.
So
that's how you roll.
What are you thinking about these games?
The only thing I would say is what he would need to do is be very, mobile.
Right.
You know, on Belshire Beach, there's a lot of ways to counterattack and stuff like that. So if he's able to do that, might help him out a bit. But yeah, then the second map will be Zelnaga Caverns, and if they do indeed tie it up, it's going to go to Metalopolis, which is going to be interesting as well.
Yeah.
FruitDealer versus AcE is going to be very, very interesting. FruitDealer, of course, the winner of the first ever GSL, and it's cool because he's one of the players that did well the first season, and we're going to get a shot of our players in just a moment, in fact. There he is right there. He's one of the only players that to do really well in the first season and not, be crap by the fourth season.
Exactly.
You know, a lot of players, they're took top 8 in the first season, aren't even around anymore.
Yeah, aren't around anymore. Just kind of sitting in around a 32, around a 16 spots.
Yeah.
Never really advancing. Kind of like in Snare, like we saw last week.
Snare, or into Rainbow.
Yeah.
Formerly Hope Torture.
Hope Torture. Yep.
Formerly before that Into the Rainbow. Just got down to Code A. He's fallen out of Code S now. So FruitDealer, though, has been really consistent the whole time. He stayed, as you can see on your screen, he hasn't been able to get too far, but he stayed in Code S the entire time.
And he's a former champion. You can't knock him. All former champions, they've got some level of skill. Look at him. He looks kind of stressed out. His Zerg versus Protoss, we haven't seen a lot of it recently, but in past games, he hasn't done as well as you might have expected from someone of his caliber.
Yep. And here's his competitor,
AcE.
Startail AcE.
Now, his versus Zerg shown on the screen there is 25%, but he has shown some awesome Protoss versus Zerg games. He actually plays the turtley death ball style that you see a lot of Protoss players play. I've seen him do all sorts of crazy things with turtling up, getting Void Rays, Colossus, and then just suddenly stopping, making Colossi and Void Rays, and then just making mass Blink Stalkers. He's really, really smart in the mid to late game. But, he's done well in foreign tournaments, winning Intel Extreme Masters.
Yeah.
Fairly recently.
He's another one of those players that does well abroad, but then comes back to Korea and doesn't really do that well in the GSL. There's a shot of AcE right now. One of the more interesting personalities.
Yeah, he always looks so serious.
Huh?
You know what I mean? He always looks so serious when I see AcE.
What?
He just looks so serious.
You're talking about the same AcE?
Yeah, that AcE right there. Look at him. He looks so serious.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, he's playing maybe.
Yeah. Well, now
he's the guy that in the team league came out with and started waving flags around in front of the audience.
Yeah. But when he's in his mode,
oh, okay. When he's in his mode,
he's not in his mode yet.
Yeah, you're right about that.
See, now he's not in his mode. He's smiling. They're making jokes to each other in the chat and seeing it.
Okay. Yeah. No, he's I don't know. He's got really good PvZ, but he hasn't really been able to show it yet. I mean, he lost to Coca, a good Zerg, in Code A Season 2. Requalified because he's that good, and then lost to Violet in Code A again. Probably going to see him requalify next season because he's that
Most
good.
likely. The pattern continues.
So he hasn't been really doing that well, but he's capable of some good play. Beat Xenio in the team league. Recently beat Sen in the NASL, who I would say is at least close to the level of Korean Zergs, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I would agree.
So yeah, we're going to find out if he can pull out a win or if FruitDealer can advance in this tournament. on Belcher Beach. Coming up.
The rebel in you! The rebel
GSL FruitDealer versus Startail AcE.
And here is our Zerg player. Went by Cool Foyu in Brood War, where he did not that well.
GSL FruitDealer.
Doing a lot better in StarCraft 2 now.
A lot of fans in the audience cheering him on.
And versus Protoss is actually FruitDealer's worst matchup, by the way.
It is.
And here is our Protoss, who has very good PvZ when he wants to.
Startail AcE.
When he wants to StarTale AcE. And yeah, I'm really a little bit worried for AcE. I kind of like him. I hope he can put a good fight here because he just hasn't shown that good of results lately. I mean, everyone was like, "Oh, IM, he owned IM," but you know what? That was a couple months ago now.
Yeah,
he's
it's
got
been a while.
Can't, like I said earlier, you can't rest on your laurels too much. Oh, there's Coke Show and another Korean fan talking about fruit, I imagine.
Well, it looks like we're going to see a Nexus first from AcE,
Oh,
which
wow.
on this map is relatively dangerous,
Yeah.
given that there are 2 entrances to the natural. It's like, you know, actually there's 3 entrances to the natural. Excuse me. This is the map where anything could happen. You get counterattacked from 500 different angles. Like we saw last game, there's just so many avenues of attack, and that's what
It's
part of what
actually
makes it a
only
great map.
470.
Okay.
It's not quite 500. Sorry, just kidding.
Glad you did your research, Moltrap.
I did some calculations, carried the 3. Anyway, so AcE has actually gone for, looks like a Speedling opening, so he could theoretically put some pressure on here. The scout for, I'm sorry, AcE hasn't gone for the Speedling opening, and FruitDealer has, but AcE is going to find this out very soon, and
indeed he will.
he's going to have a little bit of a tough time defending if he makes a lot of Zerglings, of course. The Overlord spots that front door, so he knows exactly if he should respond to this or not.
In fact, got an Overlord for FruitDealer spotting. Does see that it is going to be a very fast Nexus. Great wall off by AcE. Completely walling off that one side.
Yeah, AcE. Now those Zerglings, it looks like he didn't make a ton of Zerglings. He's switched back to drones. But he tends to like to do like expansion into some kind of harassment. I'm kind of, for some reason, I'm feeling like he's going to do air. I don't know why, but I'm feeling like I'm probably going to be proven wrong. But I feel like because he's starting out with not many gateways, I think he's probably going to start getting gas and move into like Phoenix harassment or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that on a map like this, that's quite good. But remember, there are lots of avenues of attack. So harassment-based play...
I guess that's true.
Well, harassment-based play of any kind on this map is very strong. And actually, at this point,
Nice wall.
FruitDealer pretty much knows everything that's going on because he does have that Overlord over there. He's got 2 Overlords, so he can literally see everything that AcE is doing. And AcE actually put his cannon in a really bad spot, actually blocking 2 of his mineral patches. So he can't really mine efficiently there at all. And I think he'll realize it eventually and try to fix that.
That's strange.
It's like worse than a manor pile on block in StarCraft 1. It's so bad his probes are struggling to mine off 3 patches.
That's weird. It looks like there'd
Yeah,
even
there's a
be
shot of it now.
It looks like there'd even be a better mining route, but that probe is like
It's a dumb probe.
confused. Yeah.
Yeah, needs to be reprogrammed, but here comes the feelings.
And
Nice block, and that cannon is actually proving to be quite useful here. AcE stop position his probes. The Zerglings won't target the probes if they're stop position. You have to manually target it, and FruitDealer
Nice.
losing a lot.
I'm surprised he persisted with that for so long, actually.
I think he didn't realize the probes were on stop position, because if you guys don't notice, if you're being harassed and you put your probes on stop position, the AI will attack attacking units like cannon, stalkers, zealots first before attacking the probes, unless they manually target the probes, and it's really hard to do so in that kind of a scenario. So now you guys know, if you get Korean 4-gated, it's a good thing to do, or if you got Speedlings in your base, good thing to do as well.
Good stuff.
FruitDealer taking a very fast 3rd base, actually, in reply to losing a ton of Zerglings.
It's a smart move. I mean,
yeah, he's
with
forced a lot of cannons.
3 cannons, a Nexus first, and Gateway and a Forge, he's like, all right, you've spent so much money on that. The Cyber Core just got up. There's no way you're going to attack me for at least a little bit. I can get this 3rd hatch up pretty easily and run it up even probably. before having to worry about too major of an attack. And there is the Stargate with a Void Ray coming out. Not exactly what I was expecting as far as air. I was thinking more Phoenix Harass, but Void Ray maybe followed up by Phoenix can be very powerful.
Yeah, that is really popular right now. You get the first Void Ray out, the Phoenixes just lift up the Queens. And if you don't have Spore Crawlers, you kind of just die, lose a ton of Overlords. And it's going to be very difficult to defend that third base location if the Void Rays are controlled properly, if the Phoenixes follow up nicely, because that third base is relatively far away.
Yep, and FruitDealer has no idea this is coming just yet. He's actually going to wait for the Phoenix before moving out with the Void Ray. Oftentimes you see them just say, you know what, I don't even care if they know about this Void Ray, and actually he is going to move out with the Void Ray and kill some Overlords.
Yeah, sometimes it's good to move out with that Void Ray, get as many Overlord kills as you can, because your opponent might blindly prepare anyways, and so you might as well get as much out of it as you can.
Yep, and FruitDealer did have an extra queen, and he's making even a fourth queen now, so he's going to be fine. Also made an Evo Chamber, is starting to get ranged upgrades, so he's going to be able to put down Spores as well, so he's going to be totally safe against this air, especially just one Stargate. Be just fine.
Should be definitely fine. Phoenix runs in here, trying to get some scouting information, wants to see the lair timing.
Now here's the thing.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Here's the thing: is he's going Robo, and I think he wanted to like use the air to force Hydras and then go Robo, but I don't think he's gonna do that because since he had the Evo Chamber, he can deal with it with Spores, and he doesn't need to bother with the Robo with the Hydras.
That's really smart. And that's normally what Stargate play. For a while, people started to realize that if you make a Stargate and your opponent makes Hydras, you're in great shape if you just immediately start a Robo and start taking a Colossus, because there's no way the Hydras are really going to punish you if you just make a few air units and then you already have Colossi out. But whoa! In fact, that's going to put him up to 7 gateways. So he wants to do a really nice timing attack here, and it might be the last thing FruitDealer expects. He knows the third base is there. He knows FruitDealer isn't going to have a ton of units out to defend.
It might be the last thing he expects, and it might be the last thing he ever sees.
That very well may be, Moletrap.
And it looks like AcE is actually, I don't know what he's doing, clearing out those Zergans. He might be thinking about taking a third.
Yeah, he might just be like kind of making FruitDealer think, oh, you're going to take a third base.
Yeah. And
then he's not going to do it. But, you know, it's entirely possible he takes the third base right now. But those gateways are finishing up.
FruitDealer now with 2 Evo Chambers.
An Overlord stack. Overlords huddled together. They're scared.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
I think he wants to protect them from the Phoenixes, keep them all in one spot.
Do you know how to get them to stop in one spot like that?
Oh, you just right-click repeatedly, then hold position, I think. But here comes a Roach attack, and AcE actually made an Nexus, does cancel it.
Oh, I guess they patched it so they couldn't be on the same spot. But
yeah,
still,
exactly.
I see.
You can still move them very close to each other. It looks like
I hadn't actually tried that since the patch, but Void Ray coming in here, doing some harassment. First Colossus is out.
Going for this really heavy Roach play against an opponent who already has a Stargate. It can be good if you can force a cancel on Nexus, but you have to be very careful with that because you don't want to lose Roaches to Void Rays on the map.
And Chrono boosting out the last of his Thermal Lance as well, which gives an extra range, extra couple range increments to his Colossus.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice little burrow to avoid more damage from those Phoenixes.
I was saying earlier that AcE would like to turtle up a lot and get the big giant death ball. So I was really surprised when he slammed out those gateways, and I think it was just kind of a versatile choice. If FruitDealer had done something crazy like take the gold base or something, it was like, oh, well, I've got all these gateways, I can kill you. But as it stands, he made the gateways and didn't use them and teched up the Colossus as he takes the third base.
That was kind of interesting. Maybe he was like expecting it, like, I don't know, maybe something tipped him off and made him think that he was going for mass Roaches or something like that. Anyway, those Roaches now have tunneling claws. They have their shark fins, which they can actually use under the water now. They can go up to the citizens of Belshire Beach and scare them, make the lifeguard panic, and get a spear gun out.
It's really funny. Because they really do look like sharks that are burrowed under the water.
Yeah.
Makes me laugh a lot.
Like, it used to be just like a joke sort of thing.
I know.
Like, they have got their
evolved.
shark fins for underground, but now in the water they actually kind of look like that. But
Man, FruitDealer is spotted on every turn by these Void Rays and Phoenixes. The AcE has constantly staying around them. FruitDealer split his attack group into 2 groups. He's going to try to attack that third base, but Ace's cannons finish just in time. He's going to engage this. Nice force field trapping some of those Roaches.
Nice.
And he's not even using the burrow movement. There he goes. Get those roaches out of there.
He does have a single observer on the map, and it happened to be right above that battle. And FruitDealer taking down the rocks.
Here he comes, but AcE is ready.
And that's not happening.
Like I said, there's so many entrances to these bases on this map, but AcE, having those air units around, flying around, always knows where his opponent is coming from and is always prepared.
Yeah, he was doing a really good job of scouting around, seeing what's coming, picking off overlords, making sure that FruitDealer didn't have much vision either. And they're both about even at 3 bases right now.
Yeah, FruitDealer decides to try to take the gold. There's a lot of corruptors out now, though.
A lot of corruptors out. And he still has the Void Rays. I think, did the Void Ray die actually? No, the Void Ray's still in there. He's still got Phoenixes as well. He's got Blink Stalkers, so he can easily counter those corruptors.
Yeah, FruitDealer has to be very careful with his army right now. Phoenixes do spot the gold base going up, and I think that might trigger AcE to attack.
I think it probably will.
Baneling Nest is going up as well as Overlord drops, so we could see some stuff like we saw the other day on this very map.
Yeah, Drop Speed and Baneling Nest are going to finish at about the same time, as well as 20 Zerglings. So I think that's what his plan is.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Just going to use some of that Baneling zoning to keep those units away from their next side, using the roaches to snipe the Nexus.
Yeah, that was really cool when we saw Juke2 do that the other day against any pro. Would like fake him out and be like, I'm going to drop Banelings on your army, and he'd be like, oh no, and fall back, and he'd like say tee hee hee and like run in with roaches and kill the Nexus.
Yeah, it was really, really cool play. Now, AcE does have +2 attack coming. It's almost done. +2 melee attacks as well. Almost done for FruitDealer, which is going to make his Banelings that much stronger when he drops them. And it looks like AcE is going to go for the attack now that the gold base is completed. And it's mining from it. He wants to go. He's even got a forward pylon going up. He's got such a scary army. This is that death ball style I was talking about.
Lots of Stalkers. Force fields go down, blocking a lot of Banelings, but a few get through. And the Banelings are going to drop all over the Stalkers, doing major, major damage. The Corruptors taking out the Colossus as well, and FruitDealer powers through that army, is able to completely obliterate most of the force of AcE and send him packing. Now he does have a ton of Corruptors that are just sitting there useless now, so he may be able to fend off those roaches, but no, not quite. 21 roaches in production compared to 1 Immortal and 3 Stalkers.
Yeah, AcE is in a lot of trouble. Roaches trying to do the best they can. AcE doing some nice blink micro, but the fact of the matter is more and more roaches are coming in. Even if he survives, the problem is the gold base is up, and he lost a huge amount of his supply.
I feel like he probably could have ended the game if he hadn't overproduced Corruptors. Because he ended that battle with like 12 extra Corruptors.
Yeah, I think he expected there to be more Void Rays in the composition,
That's true, maybe. I guess he just wanted to make sure he didn't get taken out by Phoenixes, and I don't know. But if he'd had, you know, a few less Corruptors and instead another dozen Roaches, he could have easily taken out a lot more after winning that battle. But as it is, saves his gold. He's doing fine.
He's doing fine.
FruitDealer taking the long road.
Just playing it smart, and AcE playing a little bit too passive. FruitDealer kind of catering to that passive, turtley style, just taking the gold base, being bold, doing it at a safe timing, cranked out those units just in time to hold it.
And Stalkers holding hands and forming a circle around that Nexus location. Baneling drop coming in on these probes! Nice! Only 2 Banelings. If that had been 4, he could have gotten any more, but in the meantime, Stalkers chasing down some stray units in the middle.
Yeah, and in fact, we don't have a shot of it, but in the main, there's a Baneling drop in the main base of AcE.
Main base
of AcE is going to get dropped by some Banelings. Actually, those are some Roaches, not Banelings.
Oh, wow. And they actually might do a little bit of damage. He's not microing those Stalkers at all because he's paying attention to the major attack coming into his natural.
With so many Banelings, they don't have speed.
Oh, man. I was about to say that is a horrible spot if he force fills, but he doesn't actually have any sentries anymore. So
yeah, he's just got pure Stalkers basically at this point. Some Infestors being made right now, Baneling speed on the way, Hive Tech on the way, and FruitDealer is looking pretty good. Even though these harassments haven't done a significant amount of damage, they've bought him a significant amount of time.
Yeah, time to get a Hive, gold minerals droned up, and a 5th base at the right side of the map. FruitDealer is running away with this right now.
Stalkers did find that base though. He's going to have to cancel it. No way you can save it.
And I like the Immortals. He's going for a lot of Roaches, so I like the addition of the Immortals there.
Yeah. Comes an attack. And actually, I'm not sure if if AcE should be doing this, but he is going to go for it. The Corruptors, I think FruitDealer trying to get rid of those Corruptors so he can, max out in some more efficient units. But here he goes. Banelings do not yet have speed. They're trapped behind the Roaches, but here come a ton of Overlords of Banelings inside of them.
No.
Force Field trapping the Roaches back for FruitDealer, and nice splits by AcE. FruitDealer losing a lot more here than I thought he would. And suddenly AcE actually coming out on top of that battle in a huge way.
Yeah, that was actually kind of really bad for FruitDealer. I'm surprised he kind of went ahead with that. He's got 3-3 upgrading right now, and a lot of units coming out, so I don't think he's quite going to die just yet, but that was pretty bad. I don't know what, I'm kind of a little bit puzzled. He just completely sacrificed those Corruptors. He didn't even keep them in front to draw fire from the Stalkers attacking his Roaches. He just suicided them.
And then he had all those Banelings on the ground that weren't really doing anything either, that got force fielded out.
I feel like he should have kept those Corruptors around because he's got Hive. He could just get Greater Spire.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking myself. And a little bit of an attack here by AcE thwarted, but he's got a huge army and a better concave.
Nice fungals on some of those Stalkers as well.
Banelings trying their best, but they were trapped behind the Roaches, and it looks like AcE going to get out there with a lot of units, but still losing a significant portion of his army. Should be able to hold this gold base, but no, more Roaches streaming in.
I'm just shaking my head, man, because it's like, what is AcE going to do against this? He did a really good attack. He won a big battle, but he forgot about the huge economy of FruitDealer and the ability to produce a ton of units at once. So AcE loses his high yield and his army in exchange for that third on the right, which didn't even do anything.
Yeah, FruitDealer taking a commanding lead. Even after making that mistake, he just had so many resources banked up.
You know what I want to see right now? I want to see an Ultraless Cavern, because 3-3 is about to finish.
But
got a
he's making a Greater Spire.
But a Greater Spire works too.
Yeah, it's kind of funky, but
that's fine.
With the map architecture on this map, there's plenty of places to hide Broodlords over the trees, so that Stalkers can't really blink under them.
That would actually be really
And I think
sweet.
He's going to try to use that map terrain to his advantage. But like you said, Ultraless would be great as well, especially against this really heavy armored unit composition. Although Blink Stalkers, they can blink, but when you have fungal growths, Ultraless do quite well. Picking off some of these Stalkers over here at the gold base.
Especially
AcE
since
basically down to one mining base.
Especially since this map, like, if you look at the mini-map, the water kind of makes it look a little bit deceptive, but there's actually a lot of open spaces to get surrounds with Zerglings and Ultras and that kind of thing. So, anyway, a little bit of battle going on here, and nice fungals go down, trapping the Zealots from even participating in the battle. Roach is doing tons of damage, and those Stalkers are just going to have to scram back to the cannons if they're going to survive, and they're barely going to get back out of there. And FruitDealer can do whatever he wants right now. He can just like take more bases. He can turn around and attack third. He could have a party. He could drink some tea. He
Come out of his booth, give someone a high five, come back.
Yeah, that's right. He could make some animal balloons if he wanted.
Here comes a Roach push, though. Trying to finish off that last mining base of AcE. AcE did make a Templar Archives. I think he wants to try to get some Archons out. But, he's got basically no gas. And, of course, Templar do basically nothing against Roaches. You burrow the Roaches, they heal faster than the Storms even do damage.
Yeah, that's kind of funny to watch.
Could be for Infestors, but I mean, at this point, when you've got a tiny Stalker ball...
wow. That was like 30 Banelings we just saw load up in Overlords.
Yeah, 32 of them, to be precise. That is so many Banelings.
8 times 4. 8 Overlords.
Here at the GSL with Mole Trap.
That's right. And, yeah, at this point, FruitDealer just kind of posturing around. It's even maxed. He is maxed. So at this point, he's just like, whatever. AcE has one base. I'll let him mine it out. I'll get 5K in the bank, and then we'll trade and see what happens. Actually, hold that thought. Never mind. FruitDealer might want to finish it after all.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to. Some Broodlords coming in.
Oh my god.
About so 5 scary. Broodlords. The Roaches just want to, they're just running in, just ignoring the Stalkers as the Banelings and the Broodlords close in.
Yeah, blinking away can only prolong the inevitable. He's waiting for those Overlords to catch up, and the Overlords are going to unload all over the Stalkers. The Roaches polishing off the damage ones, and the Probes being slaughtered as well. And FruitDealer only used half of his Banelings. GG coming from AcE. And champion of Season 1, showing that he is not a stale fish.
Not a stale saltine cracker sitting in your pantry
Not a
that
stale
you forgot you bought those a few weeks ago?
Yeah, he is still fresh. Someone put him in a plastic bag and sealed the top of it, man. He is still completely edible.
I like his new hairstyle. I mean, it's not that new, but it's very different from the Fruit Dealer we saw a while ago, and kind of suits his new crazy style.
I think he's doing the mole trap tactic, where you just like you have a sort of a relatively sharp haircut, and then you just never cut it again, so it grows out and gets kind of crazy and poofy. And then the makeup artist spike it. For me, at least, not for Fruit Dealer. Yeah, he's got like a. You know who he is? He has a Spike Spiegel hairdo going on.
Who's that? I don't even know who that is. Am I missing out on a huge reference from like my childhood that I should have?
It's from an anime.
Oh, okay. What anime is that from?
Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, I watched that when I was really young, and I don't remember it at all. Like, not even a little bit. I need to go back and watch it.
That's all right. He has poofy hair. Kind of
I think I know the character you're talking about.
The main
actually.
character.
Yeah. I definitely know who you're talking about.
Fruit Dealer should like dye his hair like tinted green so he fits the profile, and also should learn. I used to know the martial art that Spike Spiegel uses. I've forgotten now.
I know. I remember them mentioning it, but it's been so long.
It's the whatever Bruce Lee like came up with or perpetuated. Anyway, doesn't matter because Fruit Dealer's up 1-0 over AcE, and AcE is a little bit against the ropes here, showing that he's kind of continuing his trend of not doing well in Korean Star Leagues.
Yeah, we'll see if he can take it back, though.
Yeah.
The map is Zelnaga Caverns. I think this is the pivotal map, and of course, if he loses here, he loses the series. But if he can win this map, it might give him just the momentum that he needs to come back and win it 2-1.
Yeah, because the third map, of course, would then be on Metalopolis, which he's got a lot of experience on. Anyway, yeah, AcE. Well, anyway, we're going to find out in just a moment what happens here at the GSL Super Tournament.